So 3 players who fancy for the last 4 games. For here, I've gone for players who definitely do double in 35, have a game in 36, and then have a game through to, well, obviously everyone plays 37, 38. And the top one, obviously we talked about, we're going to have to wait on that injury. If he is injured for the Sheffield United game, then maybe not. But Zaha will be right up there. Sheffield United, Southampton, Villa, Arsenal and Liverpool. But even the Arsenal game looks okay, especially if they're in the Europa League final, because their attention will be elsewhere. So he'll probably be number one as a punt. I don't know what his ownership is. I can have a look. His ownership is 9.7, which is higher than what I thought. It's still under 10%, so he'll be the first one. Second one probably be Sigurdsson. He's on penalties, free kicks. He very much looks like the best player for Everton at the moment. I think he lined up just behind Calvert-Lewin. He was very advanced in that Villa game. I know it didn't come off there, but they've got a nice run. West Ham, Villa, Sheffield United, Wolves, and City to finish, which might not be too bad of a fixture with their eyes in the Champions League final. And then last one's proper punt, Che Adams. Just because Southampton are still an attacking team. I know it was 1-1 at the weekend with Leicester, but that was because they had 10 men, so they kind of shut up shop. There's obviously conceding a hat full of goals, not much to play for. But with Danny Ings injured, he's still the main striker, and he's done quite well this season. So if I was putting on a striker, he might be the one there.
Interesting. Yeah, all good. I sort of agree with most of it, apart from Che Adams, I think.
He was rogue, but yeah, I still think Southampton will score goals.
So the criteria for this is they can't blank and they have to have a double in the next until the end of the season.
Yeah, or not necessarily. Yeah, just 3 players who you would be advocating someone to bring in.
I'm just wondering why you didn't mention Aguero there.
Oh yeah, well I'll leave you to mention the big man.
Okay, yeah. So Aguero, as you said, Pep talked him up after the game, saying we're going to try and enjoy the descent to his season, and I just think yes, City, especially with the champion. The only thing I'd worry about is that last game. Now that City are in the Champions League final, will he be more worried about giving the team he wants to start in the Champions League final a run out in the last game?
It's interesting. There'll be a balance of keeping players sharp, but I don't necessarily think he'll be playing his best 11 every week. He'll just be rotating his best players so they get an equal game time. I don't think he'll start that last game with his best team. I could be wrong.
Okay. Well, yeah, there's my first one, Aguero.
1.2% he's owned by currently, which is crazy.
Yeah, I can see that rising fast next week. And then I jotted some names down while you were talking. Obviously, because I don't really listen to it. As soon as you start talking your segments, I just zone out most of the time.
Maybe you should listen. You might learn a thing or two, lad.
Well, I didn't hear you mention don't bring in Dallas. So I could have done with that knowledge last week. Even though you've just shat on Everton for most of this podcast, I think
I'm not shouting on him. I'm just offering the opposing view.
Okay. I think I'd still, if I had 2 this week and didn't just have 1, and you've got it works for your team. I think an Everton player with the fixtures is still a decent option. So yeah, I'm gonna go there again with Luca Dean. Last time Everton had a double, he picked up two clean sheets, and then he did nothing after that. But let's ignore that. The thing with Luca Dean is obviously there's the chance of clean sheets and the attacking potential. So one thing I'd say is if James is fit, I think James was injured for the last game, so that meant Luca Dean was on all or most of the set pieces again. But if James isn't about and he's on all set pieces, it does help him a lot in terms of points potential. More opportunity to stick a few crosses on Calvert-Lewin's head. So yeah, Luca Dean, and then For the last one, I think I'm going to go Watkins. Just because I think the last few. Let me just check his last few. So he's scored at the weekend, as you just discovered on this podcast. And I think he's actually been playing all right from what I'm seeing of him. It's just the rest of Aston Villa. And he got an assist against West Brom, and he got an assist against City, and then he scored against Liverpool, and he scored against. So he's actually scored or assisted in his last five games. So yeah, I don't know whether that changes your opinion on him at all. And just looking at the Premier League table, it's not a strong chance, but I think given that, would the team who become 7th this season get a Europa League place?
Yeah, I'm not sure how it'll work. Obviously, it might depend on the Europa League and what happens there. And there's another competition, isn't there? Europa League 2. So there's a team that's going to be in there. If there wasn't enough, if Europa League wasn't glamorous enough already, there's an extra competition next year.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's something Aston Villa are actively hunting for, but there is an outside chance of them. So they're 1 point behind Arsenal, 4 points behind Everton. Yeah, so I mean, there's a chance of them maybe getting Europa League place. And yeah, what I'd say there is, if Grealish is back, it obviously makes them look even better. But it's almost no point saying that because Dean Smith's not going to tell us, is he?